Hello everyone and welcome back to round 2 back 9 action from the MPO lead card here at the 2023 PCS Open, playing at the beautiful Øverås Diskgolfpark. Absolutely fantastic place to be. The weather has been cooperating, the rain has been down, and the commentary has been just normal. BigBarri commentary bringing you all the
average
action.
at best. Average at best. This is not average at best. I think these guys are all on pace. I guess that would be average. On pace, is that average?
For them, certainly is.
Yes, average front nines for all these guys, right around 6 to 4 under. Very good. That's why they're on the leaderboard above everybody else in the tournament. Now the back nine's a little bit different. It's got a lot of stroke separators. 2-stroke swings can happen on really any of the holes.
Especially this one.
I mean, not really this one, 2-stroke separator.
I think a bogey could happen quick.
Yeah.
I think you could get off position and
Yeah.
bogey. I mean, this hole is a very raw par 3, 364 feet with a very oddly specific line. The hyzer doesn't quite get you to the pin. It sets up better for a flex forehand if you want to shape the fairway perfectly.
I mean, I feel like
A lot of people might be going for this inside hyzer to just try to do what Paul's doing there and just kind of skip left.
Yep.
Not a bad result because it guarantees him a par and gives him an outside shot at birdie.
This is so good.
It's so good, and it's 50 feet short.
Yep.
But that
really
really
good.
is good.
Can they all just hit it? Yep. This is too...
Yeah, and this is the line that I'm concerned about the bogey. He's going to stay in the fairway, which is actually okay because he's on the right side of the fairway, but look what he's got to do from here. That grenade? Over the... Wow. What a weapon. Grenades just in general. Incredible weapon. Very useful.
Let's see if somebody can ring one up from deep. Here's Proc. He's got a pretty good look at it. I think McBeth might be a little closer, but he's also going to be in the woods a bit more. So,
See, not great height from that run from James. McBeth, excellent height. Just a little bit off on the right side. Have any tips for McBeth?
I'd aim a little left of where he just hit that.
What a coach.
This hole proves to be a pooper scooper once more.
10%.
As we see, bunch of pars.
10% of the field getting birdies. Only 10 players. 2 of those guys were on my card, and one of the players actually got their first birdie of the round on this hole.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, but Blair from Iceland threw the hyzer line and was 12 feet away. Couldn't figure out how it was possible.
Little Annie skip.
A little Annie skip, but
Annie
it's just
skip.
very, very unpredictable to get that type of line. On to hole 11. Par 3, very similar distance to what you see a lot of these holes out here, 364. Very tricky 364 here with this kind of jelly bean shaped hazard area around the pin. It's very tight near the pin with the big evergreen tree on the left blocking the forehands. This is the way to play the forehand, just over that leaning out bushy branch and trying to get a straight skip.
Pretty good, a little short. You also have the turnover line and the flex line.
The flex backhand.
Yep, the backhand line, yep.
We saw Equal do that in round 1. Seeing James try the turnover line here in round 2.
And doing it.
What incredible control.
Proc is good. Look at this.
Newsflash. Look at this follow flight. Look how bumpy that line is. Not nearly as cool as Paul's on hole 9.
Yeah, it was like a bumpy birdie. Learn how to smooth it out, dude.
This is such a dumb critique. Calvin going with the hyzer forehand, getting a forward skip, and that's about as close as you can put the forehand. Incredible shot.
Curious to see if Eagle does go with the flex, or if he's going, he might have changed his ways about him. He did. That's not very good.
Yeah, awkward turn of the body there. Kind of felt like he was really going against the natural turn, and he ends up short-arming himself into the hazard area and has this long 90-footer for the par.
Pretty sure he parked it round one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He parked it with the big flex play and gets away from that shot. And
maybe the wind had something to do with that. Maybe he wasn't comfortable with the right to left crosswind there and afraid of going deep.
Good birdie for Calvin to pick up.
I'm running out of tips for Paul.
Well, so far I've learned that he's got to get it a little bit more right, a little bit more left, and now I think he needs to get it just a bit higher.
Like that one.
Yeah, if he could just match that from 80 feet and in.
That guy would be good. Eagle going on a little slide here. Par bogey. That's not what you want to do, but this backhand, this back nine is not going to get any easier. This next hole is a doozer.
Yeah, I mean, it actually is now averaging more than it did in round one when it averaged 1.24 over par. Now this is averaging 1.32 over par. This puts itself firmly in the Northwoods conversation for most difficult type of par fours. 696 feet, very specific tee shot. Multiple ways that you can get to the landing zone. You're going to see a lot of people go right down the gut, but there's actually some over-the-top plays as well.
I saw a lot of people go with the spike hyzer. And it worked well for the people I saw do it. This is also... Oh, well.
You couldn't have a better kick. James is in the ideal +1 landing zone.
Yeah, nobody's getting that close.
That is incredible.
Except for with the hyzer. I did see some people do the hyzer.
Calvin kicks left, but it appears as if he has stayed in bounds. He might have to pitch over the out-of-bounds area to get back to the landing zone. We'll see how close he got to the OB line.
Here's Paul with that hyzer.
And it lands in the mulch, but short. I don't think you can really access the green from there unless you get wildly aggressive.
I don't think the wind was playing that great for the hyzers in this round in particular. It was keeping them up a bit.
Okay, so Calvin's got to go ante to the landing zone, and does he get there? He does. That will be a very tricky save, though. I think he's going to have in the back end of 370 feet to the pin, maybe 350, but he's going to have a tight tunnel to get through. McBeth having to lay up. Good spot.
Yeah, not great spots for these guys.
Yeah.
From the hyzer.
And I think in many ways the hyzer is kind of there for a player to get far enough up the fairway that they can find this landing zone on their second shot. You can potentially see somebody, oh, Calvin, long putt for par coming. You can find the landing zone with the hyzer, but I think it's just a safe way to advance up the fairway.
Tell that to AB.
He doesn't really count. We're talking about a very small percentage of people in the world can do what he can.
Calling me small?
In a weird way, yes.
Even though I go hyzer? I never have gone hyzer. I was kidding.
McBeth, look at that, spiking in. He's going to have a short putt for his par. I would never call you small, Paul. I don't have to.
Even though I didn't go hyzer?
Yeah, just in life. And Eagle also going forehand hyzer, coming up short.
Short, yeah.
It's going to be long putts for Calvin and Eagle for their par.
James the only one with an opportunity here. And now a big one after Calvin sends that one a bit high. Can Eagle stick with the putting? Oh, he's been putting so good too.
Yeah, and that's going to be 3 over in the last 5 holes for Eagle after that incredible 6 birdie run. James short putt for birdie.
To get 2 on those guys. Oh boy.
And that feels so bad in that moment. Putting so well all tournament, hasn't missed one in the circle, and then to miss that one as the first one, it feels like an eagle in a way just because you see all your card mates taking bogeys. There were twice as many quadruple bogeys as there were birdies. Only 4 birdies on the round. Hjalmar Fredriksson, Ricky Wysocki, Hoken, and Tristan Tanner, the only 4 threes in the field. 8 took a snowman.
Wow. Yeah, shout out to Tristan on that last hole. Tristan Tanner, who took a 12 the first round and birdied it the second round.
Oh my God.
9-stroke improvement.
Wow.
Feels better going into hole 13 when you have a 9-stroke improvement.
Yes, I would say.
Par 4, 728 feet down the hill. Tougher wind today. These guys are going to be able to take it wide, I think, and high to get to this landing zone. And there's the width. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to like that, I feel.
You just want to make sure to get it over that little tree on the right. This is a little tucked in, but it's still fine.
It's okay. Yeah, we saw Eagle and Paul go across that ditch off the tee yesterday, just absolutely blasting their drives. The wind is slightly in their face, though, today. It's going to be difficult to get that same type of distance.
I don't know why they're not going wider, like I said.
Yeah.
They're all coming inside, throwing it super high. Let's see if Calvin can get this one going wider. Yes.
That's a line. Just over that tree.
Yeah, this is great.
As long as it has that late fade there.
Oh, no, this is too far.
I think because he's in the fairway, he's going to have a decent shot.
Oh, he's fine right there. Yeah. He'll have a shot straight into the basket from there. This is inside too. They got me confused a little bit there.
Yeah, penetrating through the early left side a bit. I think he's actually going to be fine.
This is actually Calvin, I think, is in the best position out of all of them. And he decides to go still hyzer.
Hyzer Firebird, and that needs to get over the trees. It does. He is parked.
Yeah, that was a great shot there.
James kicking left, and that is an out-of-bounds stroke.
Really?
Out of bounds on the left side of his fairway. Gets a bad kick, and that is an unforced error there for Proctor.
Not that great, but it's going to work out. Sneaks through the right side, stays in bounds, so he's fine. I mean, he's 25 feet.
Look where Eagle's drive get to. That's such a simple approach. He does well with that. Got to shout out Blair. Once again, a shout out for Blair on my card. Didn't take a single step on any of his throws. Standstill off a tee, standstill approach, standstill putt, got his birdie. And James connecting on the par. Great save. He stood on the front left of the tee as we take a look at this beautiful slow mez. Because if you look out to the right side, there's a big hyzer line. And it's easier for him to hit that hyzer by standing still. And actually, I never thought about looking at the big hyzer line, but it's there.
Okay.
McBeth spitting through and staying in on the back side of the cage. No advice from our experts here at the panel on that putt.
And another bird for Calvin. Let's take a look at these scores. What do we got? We got a 14, 15. Eagle kind of needs to get it going here to stay in the hunt, but Proctor making a little move there.
Yeah, Proctor's been making moves all day. Still in first place by himself at the moment.
Look at the Goose Man coming in with
10
a 10 under.
I guess unofficial or official course record at the moment.
Yeah.
10 under. This course has changed from last year and continues to change and adapt. As you would expect, a fresh new course in the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Hole 14 is a par 3, 407 feet, straight ahead, slight break to the right side.
Too much turn or just enough?
It's gonna be close. Yeah, I think he's gonna be.
With the rock skips.
What would you expect? McBeth just spit through the hole and made a putt in the last hole. I mean,
that's true.
That's the kind of stuff you get when you're the best. Not needing any rock skips, Calvin Heimburg parks it. A little bit of a tail breeze. I don't want to call it a tailwind, but a slightly helping tailwind on this hole.
That's not a rock skip.
Not a world champion yet. James so trusting with his hyzer line. Really, oh my goodness, what a ramp shot there from Proctor.
Yeah, what about that rock skip? No world champ.
I don't know. I have nothing. I have nothing here. This is beautiful. Go in the second time.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
That would have been incredible. Best trick shot of all time.
See if Eel's got some tricks left for the hole. Gets a bad kick.
Oh. Needing birdies to offset the bogey stretch in the middle of the round. Coming up a bit short that time, and McBeth is cleaning putts up now.
I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Paul and how bad he's been playing this year. It's like won every tournament in Europe, and then they're like, well, when all the Americans come here, then it's not even going to be close.
I mean, I think Nate Sexton said it best. He has brought this upon himself, the high scrutiny. We expect a certain level of play, and when he doesn't deliver 1075 rated golf, we're like, what the heck's wrong with you? Well, you did that to yourself by always shooting 1075 golf for a period of 10 years in a row.
Nobody's still doing it. That's my point.
I know. Yeah, nothing has changed, but people are obviously going to scrutinize the best and try to bring him down.
I mean, he's at 15 under.
He's
James
one off the
Proctor,
lead.
yeah, he's just failing. What a failure. Seriously, Paul, calm down with the only 14 birds.
Second hardest hole in the course.
Bet he can't birdie this one.
Hole 15, 846. It's a big tee shot. The landing zone gets a little bit tight right at that 450 range, so you've got to get your drive upwards of 500 if you want to get to the bulkiest area of the landing zone. Otherwise, a lot of people might just be playing this one for the 4, going into the headwind. 4.85 average, nearly a stroke over par.
Uh-oh, looks a little too turned, sir. Oh, no.
And that is not out of bounds. So Actually, in a way, it kind of takes the pressure off. It should be a pretty easy spike hyzer to the landing zone for Paul from there. Shouldn't be too difficult to save his par.
Yeah, there's a crosswind here, making it very tough to get.
Oh, that big skip helpful for Calvin.
Tough to get it to come back to the fairway. Mm-hmm. Right to left. He loves the hyzer flip, doesn't he?
He just relies on that time and time again, and I mean, his scores just prove that it is a shot for champions. This potentially overturned for eagle, and indeed it is out of bounds.
And you're right. So hyzer to the short grass there, and then what has it got? 220 in maybe?
Yeah, it shouldn't be that far. 220 sounds about right.
This is sent.
Oh, wow. Proctor getting highly aggressive and sticking. That will be inside C2 for the birdie. Getting some love from his caddy, Ella Hansen. Eagle getting aggressive after his OB drive, and this needs the stick, and it does. Landing left side and not skipping OB. Eagle coming in with the right angle, I suppose.
Yeah. It is pretty thick on that side. This one's got a stick as well. This has some heat.
And he's calling for it to get down, and it does. Calvin Heimburg hanging on. He's going to have a putt from the back edge of C1.
These guys got Velcro on their discs, I swear.
The
have
tree.
to earn it.
Yeah.
Another
little defender in the fairway.
Mm-hmm. A Paul scrutinizer.
James for birdie. And air ball left. That can get dangerous. At the very best, that's going to make its way all the way to the back edge of C1.
There's another miss.
That will be a bogey for Paul. And a par save for Eagle after the out-of-bounds tee shot.
And he's gaining strokes.
That's the way to do it. Proctor in left side, just squeezing that one in the side pocket. And Calvin for his birdie. Count it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not the best putts we've seen on this hole. James stays at 16. Calvin gets to 16 and McBeth drops back. Eagle.
Only 8 birdies on the day on hole 15. Going to a headwind at that distance proving to be very, very challenging. Oh. And both your boys birdie the hole. The commentator crew coming out with 2 of those 8 birdies.
Did you go sidearm, sidearm?
Backhand sidearm.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Hole 16, par 4. Again, surprising level of difficulty on this hole considering it is a very short par 4, but plays at a 4.27 average. Straight off the tee with a right to left sloping fairway. Tee elevates a little bit in this initial stretch and then goes downhill the rest of the way. If you want to throw it perfect, do what Calvin has done here. This is unbelievably good. He's nearly at long jump putt range for the layup for the birdie.
Yeah, that was a perfect angle, perfect shot. Can this get as understable as that? Yes, it can.
Maybe too understable
I don't think so. That's so good.
Oh, the landing zone's great, but to get the same carry
Yeah,
that Calvin
yeah.
got, that's what I mean. Eagle trusting this one really far left. This is in danger of going out of bounds. But hits a tree, drops down safe.
Yeah, this is a hole where I would think people would be throwing the sidearm into the hill, but a lot of people like the backhand because of the branches.
And McBeth is going to have a tough decision to make now. Well, he's got the open hyzer line, and he's stayed in bounds. But he's not going for the pin.
Yeah, I think this is just a play to land short here. Another pitch up.
Yep.
Long look if he wants it.
Out of position, didn't want to challenge going out of bounds again, throwing away unnecessary strokes. Not a bad play. Oh, an eagle has gone very wide, but I like the angle coming back in. Wow. Great trust. That is risking so much there. If that doesn't come back in bounds, very fast green. OB on the right side of the pin is nearly pin high and only about 15 feet away. James playing that to the correct side.
Yeah, the right proximity for sure.
Proximity. Well done.
This would be a bonus birdie.
Oh, what a run.
That's it. Good height coming by.
Eagle for birdie.
Needed it.
Yeah. And, you know, even though he had that tough stretch in the middle, he's had such good early runs of birdies, and that's really what's kept him in this event, and he is only just a few strokes back of the lead. Birdies for James, Calvin, and Eagle, and a par for McBeth. McBeth sliding down a bit with the last two holes.
Hole 17, par 4, 509. When I throw it through the gap, as high as you can, awkward hole. It almost goes backwards around this little corner, doing a horseshoe-like shape. Spike hyzer sidearm over the top, or big high stolly turnover that almost moves backwards can get you in a position, and then it's just another sidearm in or turnover that goes up the hill. This is a very unique hole, but I like it.
I do too. We talked about this in round one, but it is an interesting concept that we're actually going farther away from the tee with our, or farther away from the pin with our tee shots.
Sit.
Oh, James pushing it to the limit.
This time he doesn't get the little bounce. It's nice. I like how he can turn that on and off.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice to be able to choose when things did what?
Push the X button.
And that's one of the better drives you're going to see.
That's the best drive I've seen. Officially.
Yeah. Seriously, this hole is very, very tricky to get that far right and up the hill at the same time. But I feel like with Eagle's shot there's a good illustration of how this hole is shaped. You can see how high that was and how much backwards turn it had. And that's what it takes to get to the pin.
This is high again?
Yeah, I think this is coming up short, correct? Just a bit.
No, not too bad.
That takes a lot of power to go that. They're throwing 20 feet over their feet. That sounds
funny.
That sounds funny, but the basket is 20 to 25 feet elevated from their stance. We'll put it that way. Calvin, no problem with that approach. It's amazing how the camera makes it look like flat ground, but it is very high up.
What a dime.
And good shot too.
Yeah. Can he get this one to drop? It looked like he might have given her a little bit. All right, let's see.
How short is McBeth? Oh, he's in the circle.
Yeah.
Kind of needs this one to not lose any more strokes. Gets it.
Twice he's made some good putts from in there.
Ooh. Not Eagle's typical conviction on that short range putt, but over the rim and in nonetheless. And we are going to have another star frame for our lead group heading into the final hole. Wheeling that one in. Taking a look here at our leaderboard. Gossage, a strong push. Eagle McMahon needs a birdie on this final hole if he wants to remain on the lead card going into the final round. And the final hole is a doozy. Third most difficult hole on the course, 4.45 average. Again, not a very long par 4, but very tricky with the green and the out of bounds. Big forehand off the tee is going to be the best play. And sets up a fairly short mid-range approach into the green or a spike hyzer. Great trust out of Calvin's hand. This is moving. That's a great shot.
Yeah, if you can throw a 400-foot slight hyzer sidearm in, makes this hole so easy. What does James got? Does he have that?
He's going to turn this one over. Does it have enough fade at the end to get back in bounds? Oh my gosh, he has pushed that one to the absolute limit. Once again, you cannot put yourself in a better position, but that was scary.
He's been living on the edge the last few holes.
He certainly has, and that's what it takes to lead Pro Tours and majors. Look at this turnover from Eagle. What a beautiful throw. That sets him up in position to maintain his spot on the lead card going into the final round.
Beth gets around the tree.
Those are 4 of the better drives you're going to see on this hole from one group. Calvin banking off the banner and it inbounds, setting up a fast 45-foot putt. Not the approach that Calvin was looking for, but not a terrible result either. McBeth off the inside trees on the good side and staying inbounds.
Uh-oh.
Does that stay in? Oh my gosh, Proctor just over the line on the backside.
He's been hugging those the whole round. Finally,
definitely.
one gets away a little bit.
And Eagle inbounds at 30 feet. For his standards, that was not his best grenade approach.
Just wants that to stay there.
Yep, Calvin trying to steer that one in.
Oh no.
And Eagle will not stay on lead card with that putt low. We are going to have Aaron Gossage rounding out our foursome.
Good putt there for James and a
Solid round.
yeah, solid round.
Back-to-back 9 unders. Right at that pace that we're talking about. 4 or 5 under a 9. Keeps them in the mix. Not just in the mix, but in the lead.
Paul gets that birdie to stay within 2 of the leaders. So didn't look like he had his best stuff, but right there.
That's the way it works. So that's going to do it for round 2. We have 18 holes remaining in the 2023 PCS Open. And there's a look at a lot of green and a little red.
Proctor bogey free. One of the only ones we're seeing in the tournament.
Did he go bogey free round 1?
Maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't remember. I do know that Robert Burridge had a bogey free round, and that was
rare.
Yeah, very rare. Down the leaderboard, some.
Ulibarri hanging in right there.
Yeah, we almost played together.
I know, we're right there, 12th and 13th place. Very fun to be up in the mix a bit, but out of the contention. But still, it's nice to see good pace here set by our leaders. Anything can happen going into the 3rd and final round here in Norway. Thank you for watching round 2. We've got one more round of action coming your way soon.